Greetings. Today we're going to do a reading for an anonymous viewer who has a question. They would like to get back together with their ex. I'm just going to paraphrase it. They'd like to get back together with their ex, and they would like to know, what is the best way to do that, or what is the, what is the chances of that happening? So we're going to start here with our first card. We're doing a Celtic Cross. We're using the Morgan Greer deck. This was the second deck I ever owned. Is a Morgan Greer deck. So I've had a... Anyway, we're starting off with our first card here, which is the Four of Cups. Okay, well, the Four of Cups is usually a kind of a cup of, or a card that represents, boredom or nonchalance, kind of like not interested in something. But I see it as, okay, there's an offering, right? The cup is an offering, and the person is there to receive the offering. So I think this is just, this card represents a question. I think it's just, showing that, extend it, make an offer. Extend a hand to the other person. Offer reconciliation is how the question is coming up. So then we have the crossing card. This was going to give us an idea of what the biggest obstacle to that reconciliation is. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Five of Cups crossed by the Three of Cups. Oh, I don't know anything about, what caused the problem, what caused the relationship to break up to begin with. This would, just offhand by looking at it, we have three women, three cups. Quite possibly, and there's another person involved in this relationship in some manner. And it's like a little love triangle, right? If that's not the case, so I guess in that case the biggest obstacle would be that there's another person involved, right? There's somebody else that may be in a relationship, and that may be the biggest obstacle to getting back together with this person. If that's not the case, if there's not another person involved, then it's very possible that they're looking for somebody, or you're looking for somebody, or there's I don't know how to say this. There's they're partying, right? They're enjoying they're enjoying their time of. We'll move up here to our third card, which is the Five of Wands. This is above. This is the obvious part of the question, and this card is like kind of chaos or disharmony, discord. Perhaps there was some fighting involved. It wasn't a nice even break. It also could mean that there was maybe too many people trying to give orders, or maybe there wasn't enough leadership, something like that, and so it just kind of leads to chaos. But this is the obvious part of the relationship, and it's saying that there were some problems, right? There were some arguments, there was some disharmony. It wasn't always nice and peaceful. Okay, so now we'll move down here to our fourth card. So our fourth card, this is the card that's hidden, the part of the question that is harder to understand, and we have the Fool. You need to have a fresh start. If you want to get back together with this other person, you need to have a fresh start. You need to approach it new. It has to be a brand new start. You can't let the baggage from the past. See, he's got that little bag there. You have to travel lightly. If you're going to go back to this relationship, you have to travel lightly, right? Don't bring the baggage of the past with you. Give fresh start, new attitude. Open. The road stretches out in front of you. Make sure that you have a fresh start. Just make sure you have a fresh start. We'll move here to our fifth card. This card represents the past. We have the Moon. Okay, again, kind of like this card, it's chaos. There was some chaos. There was maybe some deception. There was maybe some, acting out on your base, on base instincts. Maybe there was some deception, some, I don't know. I want to say just craziness. There was just craziness, right? But there's also maybe there was an allure. There was something that was that kind of like lure, like something that drew the relationship off its course. And that was the past, right? That would be leading up to this question. So this was probably when the relationship was still you two were still together, or in the time since then. There's been some craziness. There's been some instinctual things, howling at the moon. Now we're going to move on to the sixth card. The sixth card represents the future. We have the Hermit. So I don't think the Hermit here is saying that there's no hope. It's you're going to be separated from this person forever. I think what it's saying is, okay, with the Five of Cups here, you've extended your hand. You've made an offering, right? You've extended your hand. You've made an offering. The Hermit is saying is that you're going to have to okay, now that you've made the offer, your porch light is always going to be on. You're willing to accept them back into your life. Now you're going to wait for them, right? You're going to wait to see if they come to you. So have the light out. Say the light is on, the door is open. If you want to come back, you know where to find me, kind of thing, right? But you have to be the wise one, and you have to be the patient one. You have to wait for them to come to you. So now we're going to move down here to our seventh card, which is the Three of Wands. This represents you for this question, the person asking the question, and the Three of Wands, waiting. Again, so it's a lot like the Hermit here. It's a waiting game. It's, you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to wait for them to come to you. Don't try to rush things along, push things too quickly. You're going to have to wait for them to come to you. Our eighth card, this is the environment around you. In this case, this probably represents the other person in this relationship. They are the Queen of Swords. Okay. I see the Queen of Swords as being somebody who's relatively, she's got the sword, she's ready to fight, she's combative. Maybe you guys didn't leave on the best of terms. Maybe she's still hurt inside. Maybe there was some emotional trauma. Perhaps she wants, she's going to, she's going to be on a little more guarded, she's going to be a little more defensive, she's going to put up a fight in some way. But this is the environment you find yourself in. It's going to be somewhat of a hostile environment, but it's going to be, possibly a battle of wills. But, just realize that she might not be so receptive to you. She might actually not want to talk to you at this point. That's the environment that, that's just, that would be just the card stating a fact that, there may be some bad blood between the two of you at this time. But again, the way to get around that is you have to make the offering, right? You have to initiate it, right? So here, even though there's a bit of a glare on this one, our ninth card is the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is it represents normally it represents a soldier returning to a fight. This is hopes and fear, your hopes and fears. Your hopes are that you'll be able to go back to this relationship, right? There's it's not all it's not all there's more left, right? There's something to go back to. It's worth fighting for, it's worth defending. That's your hope, I guess. Your fears are that it's just going to be more of the same. It's going to be more fighting. There's going to be more combative. There's not going to be a decisive outcome. There's going to be more injury. And then finally we have here our 10th card. This is unfortunate that our 10th card is going to end up here with the Page of Cups. Okay, so the Page of Cups as our 10th card is kind of an indecisive answer. It's a page. It can represent another person. If it represents another person, what is that really telling us? So, a page can also represent a child or, a baby. It can also be a messenger, a message of love. So I'm going to take that as what this page is for the final outcome, is that the final outcome is a little more complex than just what one card can say. So, you know, I pulled a couple more cards to see if we could get a, you know, find out what the message was for our page. So the next card, the first card I pulled was the, can you see that? It's the Five of Cups. So the page is saying, you know, if you truly have to be remorseful, you have to express your feelings, right? You know, express your regret at what has been lost, and, you know, express your hopes or your interest in what is left, right? The two cups that are left, the three that are spilled. You know, there's going to be, you know, there's sorrow for this, but there's happiness over, you know, what's left, right? You know, you feel like those two cups are worth, you know, are worth something to you, and so, you know, express those feelings. Express those feelings, you know, that you have regrets, and that, you know, you feel like there's something left to save. Our next card here is the Emperor. You're definitely going to have to be the one to take charge. You're definitely going to have to guide the other person, perhaps, you know, parent them. I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but you're going to have to be the one to show maturity, to show action. You have to be the active one, and that might also explain this Five of Wands here too. You know, that you know, maybe there wasn't enough leadership in the relationship, you know, or something like that, and so, you know, you have to be the leader, and, you know, and rid yourself of the chaos. And then this last card here, Judgment, I see this more as it's saying that's the end of the message, more than add to the message. So the message is that you have to be the one to take charge, be strong, and you really have to truly, you know, express your regrets and your sorrow for, you know, for what has happened, and, you know, your hopes. I think that's our Celtic Cross reading. I sure hope this helps. But hopefully, I mean, I think we got a lot of good stuff out of this. You know, I sure hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Oops, let me pull it out.